Hey guys, MCU Collector here with the third video of the evening, and this is the Marvel Legends series Deluxe, I guess, because it's not really Marvel 80 years. Is it a variant? It kind of is. But anyway, this is the Captain America Civil War Giant Man. Now, this is a repaint slash retool reissue of the previous Build-A-Figure. But there are some changes in this, mainly in the deco, and then there is another change which I will get to later on in the video. This is actually the third release of this figure, as the Captain America Civil War wave with the Giant Man Build-A-Figure was released in the US. At the start of the next year in the international markets, they had the best of whatever year that was, with this Giant Man being the Build-A-Figure. Now, the difference between that regular Build-A-Figure, the original Build-A-Figure, and that Build-A-Figure were very minor. I think the main difference was the helmet was more this color than the original Build-A-Figure, which is a much darker color. So that was the difference there. And then we now have this third release, which has different deco in certain areas, and I don't even know all the areas yet because I'm gonna have to actually do the comparison with you guys so we can see it all. And then there's one there is that one change which I had mentioned. But anyway, the package is awesome. It looks like he's growing. He's stuck in the package. It's just not big enough. How cool is that? But look at the side artwork on this thing. Look at how cool that is. You have Iron Man, and then you could see Ant-Man growing up into Giant Man. That is freaking awesome, whoever did the artwork on that. That is really cool. I love it. I want to see it. I wonder if it's Jerry Wilson. This I know Jerry Wilson did, so you can see where he kind of has that growing effect there as well. That is awesome and amazing. Really love the way it looks. So super cool there. One thing I want to mention, this is, as far as I know, it's a newer logo that we have. It's an Ant-Man helmet logo there. Back of the package. Now let's look at that bio. Giant Man. Scott Lang goes giant size to join Captain America in battle against other heroes. That's a pretty generic bio, but I'm not sure what else you could do with it. But anyway, there he is in the package. Let's get this thing opened up, do a articulation review, and then do a quick comparison with the original Build-A-Figure. So check this out. When opening the flap, we get Black Panther, and then we also have the Vision. So that's what that line was. That was Vision using his Infinity Stone beam or whatever there, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just thought I'd show you guys that. And real quick, there's the pose inside the package in all his glory. Okay, and here is the Giant Man figure out of the package, and this thing is awesome, but it's, you know, so close to the original Build-A-Figure. It's not going to be a necessary buy for a lot of you guys. For me, I'm a completist, so I get every Marvel Legends figure regardless, but MCU figure, so you know me with movie figures, I don't mind buying a bunch of them, even if there's a minor little change, or even if it's no change but a different package, I end up getting it because I can end up doing multiple things with it. So like this one, because this one is the more accurate one, this is the one that will focus on more in my detolf, but I'll probably end up just putting both of them together because I'm limited in space and can't really do a whole lot anyway without putting stuff away in totes, and that's something that I don't want to do because if I'm buying the figure, I want them out. But anyway, here, if I had space and could do all kinds of things, I could do its own little display type of thing with these Microverse figures. Is that what they're called? No, Miniverse figures. So it was that short-lived Miniverse that came out for Captain America Civil War. Hero versus Hero Face-Off. So this is that special one that actually included the Spider-Man figure. So that was actually the very first Spider-Man MCU movie figure that came out, because this was out prior to, or images leaked prior to that 3-pack being announced. But anyway, I got it because I just really wanted that Spider-Man figure. You know, if I have all the MCU Spider-Man figures, I kind of need that little teeny tiny one too, right? So I ended up getting it for that. And then the pack just ended up sitting around, and what better time to kind of bring them out than to do this now. So this, I tried to kind of recreate what was going on in there. So Black Panther with Captain America, Iron Man with Black Widow, Falcon. There's no other way to make it look like he's flying unless I do some string and stuff, but it's super late. It's after midnight right now, so I didn't do that. And then Giant Man is holding War Machine, and Spider-Man is climbing on top of his helmet. So I thought that was a little fun thing to do. But anyway, let's get in close to look at Giant Man. There's no accessories or anything, but we'll take a look at the figure, and then we'll do a comparison, because that's where the meat and bones of this video is going to be, is just in that comparison. So let's get right to it and take a closer look at this guy. Here's a better look at what's all the stuff that's going on up there. Okay, so here is a close-up look at the Giant Man. I almost called him Ant-Man, which I guess he technically is. Now it's kind of hard because I'm trying to get it to where without the glare, but I keep coming up with the glare right in his lenses, so it's hard for you guys to see that his eyes are actually in there. You know, you don't know how well they're painted or anything like that, but they're there. I'm going to try to block the light a little bit, but then you really can't see. But it actually looks really good. So looking at that compared to the Build-A-Figure version, it looks to be about the same. But again, the helmet color is really the main difference. In here, you get blue paint in the same spot. It's just they changed up the helmet. So silver and black, whereas this was all this kind of bronze or gunmetal look to it. You know, it just wasn't shiny, but in the movie it was definitely shiny. So that's one of the main differences there. The paint, as far as paint apps go on this thing, it's just okay. So like the red on the black could have used another coat. As you could see some of the black bleeding through, and it's especially bad here on the leg. Let's see if we can zoom in. You see a lot of the black coming through on the leg on this wrinkle spot right there. I mean, it happens, I get it, but it'd be nice if there was another little deco hit. We get a little bit of blue there, whereas that was not present on the Build-A-Figure. So no, again, not that big of a deal. All these differences are going to be very minor, so nothing that anybody's got to kind of go about. But all the metal is all more silver and shinier than it was on the original Build-A-Figure. Oh, I'm looking at this now. So we get a nice silver paint up here, but then the belt portion is just done in that crap gray plastic. It just doesn't look that good. You know, silver paint would have been much better on that. Here we had a darker gray paint, so this actually looks better than that. That just looks really cheap. Looking at the gauntlet pieces, we get some blue paint added there, and then on the hands, this round part there is painted silver on the hands now. Here on the chest, there's no blue paint there, but here on the new one, there's blue paint there. Again, the other gauntlet, the blue paint that's added. And that's really the only differences between the two. I'll get to the main difference here shortly. But looking at the rest of the figure, it's all pretty basic to the original Build-A-Figure if you had it. So now looking at the big change up. So we'll go. So the feet. They modified these feet. So here is the feet on this new one. Here is the original Build-A-Figure. See those tongues? All they did was cut them out. It's not even a different mold. They just adjusted the mold to not include the tongues. No big deal. Now at San Diego Comic-Con, Dwight Stahl had talked about why these things were here. So the concept art that they based the figure on had these out, or the pictures of the suit, because this actually buttons into the pant leg or something like that, but in the images that they had, the tongue was visible, so that's why they made the Build-A-Figure like that. I thought it was extremely odd at the time, and I remember in the movie trying to look for those tongues and they weren't there. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So Hasbro did fix that. Now, is this change up enough for you to spend $35 at GameStop for? More than likely not, and I don't blame you, but at least they, you know, did that extra step to make it film accurate, I guess. And then the little bit of additional blue paint kind of throughout is kind of a nice touch. I mean, that blue paint was already there on the original one too, but we get, you know, that little bit there, and then the more accurate helmet. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at his articulation. Okay, this guy's a little tall, so I'm going to try and do the best that I can. He can look down, because he's going to have to look down because everybody's shorter than him, but he's still too short compared to what he is in the movie. He can look all the way up, so that is good. Full swivel in there. There's a little bit of head pivot in there. Shoulders go out very high, so a little bit higher if you work it, but they go all the way out. Full rotation, upper bicep swivel. You do get a double jointed elbow, so you get a little bit over 90 degrees. So that's good. Ab crunch isn't very effective. It crunches that far forward, that far back. There is a waist swivel in there. Legs go out super far apart, probably a little too much, because I don't think Scott Lang, Paul Rudd would like that too much. Can't kick forward that much. Goes back a little bit. Upper thigh cut there. Double jointed knee. No boot swivel, but foot hinges down and up, and you do get an ankle pivot. Now, one of the things on this figure that is a little bit of improvement, now, the torso seems a little loose, but it's nowhere near as loose as mine was in the original Build-A-Figure. I mean, I get a little bit, but this one's like a lot. So that's a little bit stiffer, so you know, some improvements there, but not a whole lot. You know, I'm looking at these bright lights too, so there's a little bit of this gray color in here where it's a little bit darker on the new one. That was a quick little thing that I noticed there. And then I had an issue with one of my legs. This leg always wanting to pop off so easily. So I wonder, it comes off, but it's in there a lot tighter than what the Build-A-Figure was. So at least that's an improvement as far as mine. I don't know if everybody had that issue, but it's this right leg always kept wanting to pop off. So I'm glad that there's an improvement, at least on mine. I don't have to worry about that issue at all. So let's see a better side-by-side of these guys. So there they are side by side, and again, very, very minimal differences. If you have the Build-A-Figure, this isn't going to be a necessary buy for you guys, unless you're a completist, or if you want your movie figures to have to be as accurate as they possibly can. Now, it's still not going to be 100%, and off the top of my head, I can't think of the exact differences that are between the figures, but of course there's going to be some things that just weren't done in time for the movie, and Hasbro, there's no way they were going to go back and retool the entire figure, so that's why they just changed the feet. You know, it's those little things though that Hasbro knows that they've done wrong, but they just didn't have an option based on what they could do at the time that they were given. They did the best that they could. You know, in some cases they can make up for it, so it's always good for newer collectors coming in. Also, they have a chance to get these things where they may not have to pay a higher price on the aftermarket, the secondary market, to try and get a figure that they missed out on. So it works out well for that. So, but if you've been collecting for a while, you have the Build-A-Figure, pass on it, save yourselves the $35. Because your Build-A-Figure is still a great figure. This one, minor improvements made. I like it. Worth it for me as a completist, but other than that, if I wasn't a completist, I would pass on it because it's just not necessary. But you guys tell me what you think. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you picking it up or are you passing on it? I'm curious to see what you guys say. If you guys liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.